Hello, this is McMulligan back again with more Dark Souls. This time we're going to continue through the Painted World and actually finish up collecting all the stuff around this place. Now, first off, we're probably going to make our way up through here and actually find some key items that we're going to need to actually open up some of this more open side areas of this, area. As well as a few other things. Also, case in point, there's an ambush here. Granted, they're only normal hollows, so they all go down in one hit, but you know, they could still hit kind of hard. You know, funny thing, actually, when it came to, like, the D&D game, which I'm just going to keep referencing because it's kind of relevant, the first death we actually had in that game was actually to a bunch of normal hollows just like those, because, you know, they hit kind of hard, but even though they're, like, really weak, if you get ganged up on by a lot of them, they can really wreck you in the actual game. Definitely was still the case in D&D, I'll put it that way. Watched one of our party members get ripped apart. I don't actually remember who. I think it was Chains. I'm not sure. Actually, no. I don't think it was Chains, because Chains probably would have lived through that because he was really tanky. I think it might have been Edmund, because he was a character we had for like the first, or I guess technically second session, but then left after that and was replaced by Devlin, so I don't really count him in the campaign. I mean, other than that, though, I don't think we actually had that many deaths, like actual deaths, happen in like the D&D game, mostly because we were cautious as all hell. Like, more cautious than I think the DM realized we were going to be. And I think a bit more broken too, because like between me and Devlin, it was like we could wreck the campaign on our own, and then you also had two other chuckleheads that were also very powerful with us. And while granted, they could have, I mean, as much as I say Val wasn't that powerful, she was still powerful. It just like couldn't quite hold a candle up to me in that regard, but just due to the fact that the character wasn't optimized all high hiffle like mine was. And the player who like played Devlin was just kind of an optimizer anyway, like in most situations when it came to making like characters in RPGs like that. So we were not only getting someone who already optimizes normally, but we were getting like literally, I think, like the magnum opus of like optimization. That being said, how about we talk about these spinny skeleton guys that we got going on here? So I'm pretty sure these guys were like, because I'm pretty sure these like wheels were kind of torture devices back in the medieval times, and I think what these guys were was they were basically some of the poor idiots that got strapped to these torture devices and basically died on them. And I guess when they came back as hollows or whatever, or some undead magic, that ended up like they ended up just being attached to the wheel and are now using it as kind of a weapon. By the way, this is how you open up the door to Priscilla, if you didn't already know. Spooky, ominous, like it always is. Yeah, no, fuck that. But, yeah, no. But on the back of that note, yeah, no, that guy was kind of, like, very much an optimizer. I think the first character he made in our games was called Mr. Boombastic. Yes, that was the name of the character. And he was, like, I think, like, 7 different classes combined into one, all for the explicit purpose of making the most high-damaging piece of shit in the universe. And that was basically all he can do is damage. But this is the thing. At level 7 per shot from, like, this Artificer's gun, he could do, like, over 70 points of damage. Like, it was stupid. It was literally just like, and it's dead. And he would, and by the way, he had like a form of kind of multi-attack too. So it was like he attacked twice in the, with that at level 7 somehow. I'm not exactly sure. And so it's just like, okay, and that's like 140 points of damage in a turn at level 7. Got it. That's like enough to kill like a lot of dragons. Like, that level of optimization. This is not even counting magical items. This is just what the base classes combined could do with feats. Like, it was, ridiculous. Kind of funny, but I'd never want that in, like, an actual, like, serious game. Speaking back more to Dark Souls, we just got Fire Surge there. One of the pyromancy that I'm pretty sure is native to this land in particular. Yeah, not all pyromancies originate from the Great Swamp. One hears rumors of unknown pyromancers inhabiting various lands and dispels the work of one such outlander. Yep. So it even says, like, not even, so, like, it even tells you, yeah, not all of them actually originate from the Great Swamp. Even, like some of the pyromancers just are not from the swamps, and also I think this guy gave me a little bit of trouble here because he would not stop moving. Yep, there you go, he's dead. Now, something else to note about a lot of Dark Souls that I probably haven't really skimmed over much is, there's a lot of Berserk references in these games. Like, if anyone's ever read that manga, really good read if you ever did. It's really dark, though. If you do, I'll put it this way, Dark Souls is dark. Berserk makes Dark Souls look like super happy fun time. Little exaggerating there, but you get my point. It's a lot darker than Dark Souls is. But Dark Souls is heavily, like, based on it. Like, even, like, the themes of the world, how the kind of setting of, like, a dying world. A lot of the weapons are referenced to it, a lot of, like, the NPCs. Like, Artorias is literally just guts in, Dark Souls. And, like, straight up, he's just got Dark Souls guts. That's all he is. Even, like, fights like he does later in the manga. And, there are a bunch of other references to, like, I'll tell you why there are a lot of references. Bloodborne. Bloodborne has a lot of references to it, and I know, not technically a Dark Souls game, but it's FromSoft, and I'm also theorized that, like, they take place in the same universe, so, you know, there's also that. But literally, the blood sign in Bloodborne, like the sign that you see with the loading screens, is like the same symbol as the eclipse from Berserk. It's kind of ridiculous, and I'm surprised they got away with it, but there you go. And what's funny is, like, some of the weapons are referenced to it. Like, the Greatsword is a reference to Guts' earlier weapon. Becomes a direct reference to his weapon later in the manga when you actually get the, actual, like, in Dark Souls 2, when the Greatsword starts becoming a really huge Ultra Greatsword with that, and basically becomes, like, what I like to call the anime sword. It's basically a direct reference to Guts' weapon. As well as another weapon that actually looks more similar to it, but, you know, that's what you do. And it's just kind of how it goes. Yeah, because Miyazaki, the creator of Dark Souls, kind of has a bit of a hard-on for, well, all of this. And I don't think I read Velka's Rapier when I picked it up. I'll probably do that in, like, a later video. Then, at some point, I'll remember to do that. Oh, yeah, here, see, Nom's on me. But if you have full health, it will not fully kill you. It will just almost kill you. Yeah, I had to run way away from that bird. I'm like, nope, I have to go heal. So, after all that's been said, well, talked about Berserk. Is there anything else of particular interest? I mean, there's obviously this place. I mean, I already talked about how, like, basically everything in here was violent, and I'm pretty sure an amalgamation of the painting. I'm not sure what exactly went wrong when they made this world. I can only assume some form of corruption got to it and just messed everything up. Hell, maybe it was an intentional of Priscilla herself, that she didn't want to be a pawn of Gwyn, and so ended up messing up the world. That is another theory I kind of have about this stuff. But either way, we're about to fight an assless dragon. Yes, you heard me right, an assless dragon. It's like assless chaps, but draconic. Well, that guy threw himself off there. I threw him off there. And I think the last one literally just falls off to one of the side platforms. Yeah. And I almost killed myself there. Yeah, no, gotta be careful when you're up here, because you can easily just, if you're swinging your weapon, knock yourself off of this, like this stairway. Granted, I got lucky and hit the lip there, so I ended up not actually getting myself killed like a freaking idiot. Oh yeah, just looking down at the birds there to see if they were still alive. They are! At least one of them is. I think the other one fell from such a height that it actually died. You'll see another one of them hanging out right there. What's funny is I tried going through my inventory to try to find the red sign soapstone here, but I just could not find it for some reason. I'm not sure where it went off to. Or if I was just derping out. Let me pay close attention now that I'm not playing and see if it's... Yeah, no, I just missed it like a derp. I saw it right there. So I'll go over that in another video. I don't remember if like the description to it was, well, to be fair, I probably could pull it up on my phone, but Come on, get that drop attack. There you go. Yeah, so you can stagger them, like, even with a weapon like this if you're two-handing. Granted, weightier weapon would do way better against them. That's why I still want to get that, well, I need to get, like, the proper materials to fully upgrade that greatsword. Which means I need to farm some large Titanite and some normal Titanite. Which I'm pretty sure we can, buy from in the Giant in Anor Londo, who we will meet relatively soon. As of right now, I actually haven't recorded that part yet, so... But I think in the next video or two after this week's recording that I've currently done ahead of time, we should be speaking to the Giant, and he will be a very good person to have spoken to. Okay, that one I'm pretty sure killed itself. Yep. Like lemmings. You know, another weird part about the D&D game, we were like, I don't remember, I think we were in, was it the Undead? No, it was the, God. It was past Fort. It was like a bit past Fort. But there was like this bridge. And it ended up getting broken in half. But there was a bunch of hollows on the other side, so what we did was, like, someone just kept shooting it with a bow. Like, kept shooting them with bow, getting their attention. So they all started coming across the bridge because they just saw us. And then they all proceeded to just walk off the bridge, like, mindlessly just yeet themselves off the platform. Like, completely yeet themselves off the platform. Kind of hilarious, to be honest. But much like the gremlins they are not very intelligent and tend to get themselves hurt. Much like this guy. So, you probably hear this vile, like poison kind of dragon. This is clearly an undead dragon. So, as you can see, this is kind of what happens to them when they go hollow. When they very much so go hollow, they start falling apart. They basically completely zombify even more than people normally do, which is... I'm not exactly sure why that is the case, to be honest. I think it might just be due to the draconic nature or something like that. Like, because of, like... I guess the dragons are being held together by their own form of magic, and now that they're hollowed and undead, they don't really have that anymore. So they're falling apart at this point. Like, completely falling apart, which is... Because, like, well, if we're talking about actual physics and everything, a creature this size would not be able to fly and do all the ridiculous feats that it would be able to do. Like, the wingspan it would have to have in order to fly would have to be ridiculous. So the only explanation for that could be either some type of, like... I guess, magic either making them way less than what they do and keeping their internal body temperature, like, I guess, on the lower end. Or maybe some type of flight magic that helps their wings. But I want to think that it's probably more so their magical nature that's, like, basically makes them way less or something akin to that. But I could be wrong. By the way, I think one of those might end up being the case. We actually see, there's another dragon that's rotted like this one that we actually haven't seen yet, and I could have saw at the beginning of the game. But I just haven't to yet, and I will show that at some point. I think probably after we leave Anor Londo, I will go and quickly just show that. Probably before we go after the Four Kings, maybe. Or the Catacombs. I'm not sure which. Either way, though. I will make sure that gets shown on video. What am I looking at here? Oh yeah, I was just looking at the red shield. Spoken of in the Lost Legend. Blood is slightly enchanted. So, it's a shield, and it's from some legend that we don't know about. Very specific game. You know, if you probably dug deep enough, you could probably figure out which legend that is. I, however, am not actually sure. So the funny thing here is, like, I was contemplating whether I was going to fight Priscilla now or do it later, and just keep going. And, I decided to do it later, but I basically ended up running back because I thought I was going to fight her, but then I'm like, nah, I'll wait till later. So I ended up running back to go refill my Estus, but there's really no reason to do so. Just kind of a derpy thing, but you know, it is what it is. Also, this guy keeps slapping me literally every single time I heal. See? Oh my god. Such awful timing. Why was I timing it like that? Probably gonna huck that great Chaos Fireball at him and just, like, messed him up. You want a spell that can... The Chaos spells will kind of wreck. They definitely wreck House. Alright, past the Phalanx as it keeps throwing javelins at you. So yeah, a lot of interesting enemies in this area. There's that dragon. What's funny thing is, actually, you can go back to where that dragon's butt is and it's still alive. And it's either a jump attack or like a power attack or something. And if you hit it with it, it'll stand up and it'll just be legs standing up and it looks really goofy. And you can actually use it as a way to get down to that bridge without opening up the shortcut. But I really wouldn't do it because you're going to be on like no health the second you land down there because it is a very long drop. That being said, I think there might be an item under him too, but I didn't remember when I was actually doing the gameplay, so I didn't exactly go over there. I can always come back and check though at some point. But something to actually note with those legs is we actually find more of those legs later in the game, like that leg model standing up like that, as an enemy in the Demon Ruins. It's like one of the most frequent enemies in that area when you get to the massive lava pit, because there's just like fucking 30 of them for some reason, just strewn about like the lava pits there. No idea why, but they're all there. It's weird. It's very odd. It's also kind of pointless. I mean, I think they were just running out of assets to use at that point or something. At least it kind of felt like it. I mean, there's still a lot of that, like, visual storytelling there, but that area definitely looked like it was being plastered over. Yeah, so she kind of doesn't want to have anything to do with you.
This land is peaceful, its inhabitants kind, but thou dost not belong. I beg of thee, plunge down from the plank and hurry home.
I mean, since you asked nicely, I guess I might as well. Don't worry, I'll be back to stab you later. In the meantime, however, we are going to leave and go attempt to stab Pikachu and Snorlax. At least that's how I like to call them. Anyone else getting deja vu? Remember at the end of episode 6, Palpatine like got thrown into the pit? Well, it's happening again. Only this time he's deformed in a worse way, kind of. So yeah, ninjas, all that stuff. That was the Painted World, an interesting place. Kind of a mix mash of much different things, but in either case, that was that. So, this has been McMulligan. Hope you all had a great day, and take care.